Hi guys, I'm back up here with another message for the collective. Remember, all readings are not for all, they're for some. Take what you need and leave the rest, as well as we got that slot open for personal readings. If you feel guided or interested in purchasing one of those, you can DM me. We can get you set up, come fuck with your girl, okay? As well as drop a comment down below, let it hear from you guys and start the discussion. As well as this one, share these vids, man. Let's get this divine knowledge out here for the collective so we all can get on one accord, okay? So this message is really inspired by kind of this little praise and worship thing I was doing probably an hour ago, and really trying to connect with God through prayer and worship and things of that nature. And as I'm praising the God, and I'm really speaking in tongues and really speaking to God really about the situation that we're in, or at least for myself, but for the collective, having that, experiencing that Job moment. So that being said, a little bit of that, but this is a little different. But experiencing all these different type of changes and experiencing these different type of cycles and things of that nature. God kind of put on my dome piece as I'm speaking in tongues, speaking to God, allowing downloads to happen or come in from the source, really connecting to the source. And what came out of that praise and worship was Genesis, the book of Genesis, right? And God kind of led me to read basically the first chapter. I got it here, so we're going to read it here. So, and really break that down in the reality of what's going on. It's deeper than what we're reading, right? This is that type of energy when it comes to scripture, when it comes to the word, when it comes to God and things of that nature. It's very important for us to not just remember and recognize what we're reading. It's about us really comprehending and understanding what we are reading, right? This is that type of energy here. So, before we get into this read, let me just explain what's going on. So basically, God kind of put on my dome piece about the, what was it? There's a form where God said, let there be light, right? We'll get into the reading, but how it was once dark and God just basically turned the fucking lights on, right? And really thinking about that, I was thinking about, we got night and day, and the regular spiel, when it's nighttime, it's nighttime, when it's day, it's day. But it's deeper than that. It's about when you were once turned off and it's like God turns you on, right? You got plugged in, right? The moment that you awaken, right? So once there was a time where you was just swinging in the dark, when you was trying to figure out who God was and the things of that nature. And now the lights turned on. When God revealed itself to you, the lights turned on. You start to really understand what is going on, okay? So we'll dive deep into that. I'll break that down, but let's get this message out here because I got to read this chapter. So bear with the kid. I'm reading this off a laptop here because unfortunately my Every Man's Bible it's been in really use, so we got wear and tear, and a few pages is kind of missing from that chapter. So I was like, oh snap, right? And unfortunately the one that I needed was missing, right? So I'll be looking this way, so just get the message, okay? All right, so here we go. It says, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth the earth was without form and void. And also this is the King James version. Where was that? And darkness was among the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved among the face of the waters. Okay? And God said, let there be light, and there was. Before we move forward, let's go and break that passage down and really talk about it. It's that type of energy. When you're reading these books and reading these, when you're reading the word and getting knowledge from it, it's about you really being able to apply it to your life. So in these moments in time, as what we just read, that there was darkness among the face of the deep, right? This is that type of energy at these moments in time where this was the time before you awakened. This is when you was going through your karmic processes. This is when you were still going through the world, when you was quote unquote in the matrix, right? Still trying to figure out, not knowing who God is, right? When we think about darkness among, right? So what was it? Darkness among the face of the deep, right? So this is that type of energy when God moved among the face, what was it? And the Spirit of God moved among the face of the waters, right? So when we talk about water, we talk about water. Water is spirit. Water is healing, right? Use water for healing, right? This is that type of energy in these moments in time. If we're really breaking these words down and really comprehending what is being said in these moments in time. It's the moment that you awaken your spirit to your source, right? This is that type of energy from that once it was dark, now it's light, right? This is that type of energy what Spirit kind of put on my heart. Is how we're a lot of people are waking up in these moments in time here, and experiencing their Creator, understanding who God is, and understanding that God is you. You are a reflection of your Creator. So that being said, you are God, right? Understanding that God power, right? This is that energy. When you're reading this, it's about you really analyzing that situation, right? As we go through this story, we'll start to notice the patterns of creation, right? And really going through those patterns of creation, you'll start to understand the things that are described within this book here, or this chapter, that you can create. You create your own heaven. You create heaven on earth, right? So with this energy, it's about you. You decide when you want to tap into God, when you want to step out of the darkness and come into the light. You decide that. You do. You can allow yourself to continue to walk in darkness. You can allow yourself to still walk in confusion. You can allow yourself to do all of this stuff. Or you can decide to remember, because God is like, fucking with God is like a crowded party. You on one side, God's on the other side. You're going to take initiative to walk towards God. And then when you take initiative to walk towards God and holler at God, and that's when the lights are turned on. That's when light is, let there be light, right? Right, let's keep moving forward. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light, and that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. Right. And even with that phrase, right, breaking that down, that is Genesis chapter 1:4, I believe. Even breaking that down right there is, let me read that one more time to make sure what God's got me going towards with that. It says, and God saw the light, and that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. Yeah. So even the fact is dividing the light from the darkness. So that is really who's turned on and who's turned off, right? So you got to understand, when you're awakened towards God, God kind of discontinues and pulls you away, right? This is that type of energy from the world. And you got to understand, when it comes to, once you're waking up to your path and you're doing what is necessary for yourself and for the kingdom, right? You tend to be pulled away from the world. And in that space of being pulled away from the world, you're in an energy of isolated. A really isolated energy, right? This is that type of energy. How I am getting it in these moments in time here is really removing you from your old ways of being, your old ways of living, your old patterns, the things that you used to indulge in, kind of quote unquote indulging in those little demons that we got going on, right? When we call demons, the shit that your shadow self, the shit that you don't like nobody to know, right? That type of energy. You indulge the shit that you indulge in, overindulge in. And when you awaken to that, you start to take accountability for that, and then you start to analyze, right? Going through that annihilation, that observation period, and that's when you start to take those wands and you start to take those actions. So what I see here in these moments in time, and what's being comprehended and downloaded in my spirit, is God really allowing you to open your eyes to see. Because once you were blind, you couldn't see. It was dark, right? This is that type of energy. And if you really want to think about the womb, right? The womb, you come from darkness, right? You come into light, right? This is that energy when you're in the womb. It's dark, right? So also even breaking down that dark spaces, those dark spaces is where, even though you might be going through adversity and experiencing certain things in your life, that's where your power lies, within the dark. And the only way that you can get the light is through the dark. Since hence, right, God divided the light from the darkness, right? This is that type of energy, right? And it's that type of energy of really understanding how, when you're in those dark times, when you're experiencing that midnight hour, when you're going through the things that you're going through, there will be light at the end of the tunnel. But it's that type of energy. God needs you to stay alive long enough to see that light, right? And we're talking metaphorically speaking, right? Right, let's keep moving forward. And God called the light day. In the darkness, he called night. In the evening and the morning were the first day. Okay? And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the water from the waters. Okay, let's go on and break that down. When it comes to dividing the waters with the waters, right? Especially when you're dealing with spiritualities, there's two ways you could do this, right? We know that water is spirit, right? And it's healing, right? But with that is dealing with spirituality and really tapping into God. There's so much shit out here that you can dabble into, right? And we got all these different foundations. Like you can be practice Buddhism, you can be Christian or whatever, the Quran, all these different religions. Damn, my speech, y'all. Sorry. All these different speeches or religions and things of that nature. But all of this all lands to your foundation, right? When we talk about the waters, right, we know that the waters have to do with spirit. So in these moments in time, how God talks about here in this this word that I'm reading right now, is God called the light day and the darkness, he called night, in the evening. No, scratch that. That's not what we're talking about. Where was I at? Yeah, God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. So thinking about that is not allowing yourself. There's so much shit out here in spirituality where you can dabble into things, right? You could be skeptical, or no, not skeptical, a victim to all these different things within your within dabbling in this, trying to find God in a sense, right? This is that type of energy, using your foundations and really building a bond among those. So this is that type of energy here. You can gain wisdom everywhere, anywhere, right? But this is that type of energy at the same time, understanding, being aware that your foundation is your foundation, so you don't dabble too far into shit and open doors that you can't shut, right? This is that type of energy in any way, shape, or form, allowing your intuition, allowing your source to really guide you in the things that you need, but not straying away too far from what you know, right? This is that type of energy, but it's your job to elevate, right? You don't stay at your foundation. But the way that I'm seeing this here is as there's so many things out here that you can dabble into, where you're going to have to use discernment with what you're dabbling into, because not everybody in this community is what is supposed to be, right? So this is that type of energy in these moments in time. God is really, within this community in general, is dividing the divine from the real from the fake, The real from the fake, in so many words. And this is what God's kind of putting on my heart and how I'm interpreting it, okay? All right, let's keep moving forward. And God made the firmament and divided the waters in which were under that firmament from the waters, which were above. What? Hold on. God made the firmament, divided the waters, which were under the firmament of the waters, which were above the firmament. And it was so. Okay, that was so confusing, but that's what it says, okay? And so, what is it? And God called the firmament heaven. Okay, that's what they're getting at. Okay. In the evening and the morning were the second day. Okay? And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together onto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. Okay? All right. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called the seas. And God saw that it was good. Okay? Let's stop it right there. Okay? Even with that energy, when it comes to the earth, yes, it has to do with yes, you know, we're on earth and this, that, and the third, the lands, the waters, etc. But we're breaking down and really breaking it down to its smallest particle and how we can apply these things to our lives, right? You have to understand this spirit is in a vessel. This spirit is in a vehicle. So we call this a vehicle, right? That's protecting the spirit. This is that type of energy in these moments in time here. When you are really dealing with God and really understanding God, it's kind of like God gives you this plot of land where you have to tow or plow, right? And this is that type of energy when you're going through that space of learning how to plant, learning how to do things. And it's kind of like a safe haven, I guess to say. Is that what I'm trying to say? Like a place to land on, right? God is a place to land on. It's kind of like, I'm trying to put this in words on how God's trying to explain this to me. God is your foundation. Having God as your foundation, you can build anything that you possibly can. So that being said, to even build this house, we need all the resources and things of that nature, this house that I'm in, to even build that. But to even build that, those resources come from your source. Understanding that everything stems from your source. So that being said, that earth, ground, right, dry land, is physical pinnacles, a physical manifestation of something. I see it as more of like, if you think about the tarot deck, earth signs, you know, the pinnacles, you know, physical things, right? This is that type of energy here in these moments in time here. As you walk on your path, you tend to develop a physical pinnacle. So that being said, that physical pinnacle is an evolved version of yourself, right? This is that type of energy that I'm seeing here. Thank you, God. And with this energy, it's about you kind of bringing the physical and the spiritual together, right? So hence, earth and water, right? This is that type of energy that I'm seeing here, okay? Let's keep moving forward. Okay, and God said, let the earth bring forth grass and herbs yielding seeds. Like I just said, I kind of spoke this beforehand. But in the earth tree, or in the fruit tree, yielding fruit after his kind. Those, whose seed is in itself among the earth, and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herbs yielding seed after his kind. Yeah, after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. Right. Using that energy, okay, breaking that down here, is once again, like we spoke about, it's about you, once you build that relationship with God, you're going to have to till that harvest. You're going to have to continue to plow at your land, right? So that being said, when you neglect your land, you do not grow fruitful crops. You know what I'm saying? When you don't plow your land the way that it needs to be, or plant your seeds the way that it needs to be, because God, once waking up to God gives you the seeds to plant so those plants can grow. Right? This is that type of energy, really understanding it from a perspective like that, understanding that regardless of what you're going through, you're still plowing on this land. You're still having to really till to your harvest. And that harvest has to do with that relationship with God. You gotta continue to till that harvest regardless when your land is fruitful and when your land is going through a drought. Right? This is that type of energy that I'm seeing here in these moments in time. And it's like God is really showing us, even at the beginning of these journeys, how God really shows us kind of the basics of shit. You know what I'm saying? What is it? Sorry. I feel like I have to burp or something. Got gas or something. Anyways, but yeah, God kind of shows us the basics about how to manifest and do things of that nature, right? But once again, it takes hard work and dedication, right? God, if you want a house, God will give you the bricks to build your own house. This is that type of energy. You want a relationship with God, you're going to have to plow at that land, right? Right. Let's keep moving forward. Okay. In the evening and the morning were the third day. And God said, let there be light in the firmament of the heaven to divide the light from the night, and let them be for signs. What is it? And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. Okay? And let them be for light in the firmament of the heaven to give light among the earth. And it was so. Okay? So let's break that down as well. Even though you wake up to God and who God is, it's a process. It's a cycle to really get a grasp and understanding. You can't really fully get a grasp and understanding of God, but you can get a good hint of it. But remember, I put a reading up about God being kind of like an onion, right? You peel layers back on God. And this is that type of energy. When walking with God, you're walking with God through phases and stages in your life, hence why the seasons are here, right? And the more that you walk with God, you start to evolve and you start to change. And everybody in your season ain't meant to be there. And the things that you've learned in this season may not be able to come with you in the next season, right? So this is that type of energy, how I'm seeing this in these moments in time here, is how, regardless of what this is, because God is the light. Light is up, right? This light is going to forever be with you. Regardless of if you're in the midnight hour, hence night, or when shit's all good. Light, right? This is that type of energy. It's about you really understanding and keeping your focus on God through all of these cycles and through all of this development that we're going through as a collective, right? But this also has to do, right, with actually the building of earth and all that good stuff. But I'm not here to get into that. I'm here to break it down on how this can apply to your life, right? Really take it so much, not kind of move it away a little bit from the story, and really how you can use these different things as stepping stools onto how to improve your life, right? This is that type of energy. But so far as we've been going, do you see these different things that is happening, these different events that God is doing? And the overall message here has to do with that you are the creator of your world. So what are you creating? Right? So this is that type of energy. God is showing us that we have the ability to create what we need to create and what we desire to create. It's that type of energy. Even when God speaks with authority. right? This is that type of energy, you speaking with authority, because you are the reflection of your creator. You're the reflection of your source. So that being said, you are God, right? So when you walk in, when your energy is of authority, of dominion, right? This is that type of energy. You are able to create the world that you desire. And just looking at this chapter, you know, Genesis, reading Genesis and really thinking about it, is God is showing you how to create, how to be a creator, right? How to be a creator. It's like we forgot that we were gods, because we were made out of the image of our source, right? This is that type of energy here where we think, if I pray up to this God, right, you know, God would just bless me. Like, no, that's not how it works. God, the way God works is God is here for assistance. God is here, is more of an observer. And as God watched you create your life, God is here for a tool for you. So that being said, if you need something from God, right, it's kind of like this, right? It's kind of like, I don't know about you guys, if, at least with me, like when I'm with my dad and I'm like helping fixing like a car or something, right? Because he's good at fixing cars, like things, you know, manly things and shit like that. Not necessarily manly things, but we're not gonna do this here, right? I'm kind of the helper, right? This is that type of energy. I'm not fixing the car. I'm kind of handing my dad the tools and the things that he needs, and hey, I need this wrench, or I need this drill, or oh, I need this, right? It's kind of like that. God is like handing you the tools that you need to create the world that you desire. But the thing is, you're going to have to know what you're creating, right? This is that type of energy that I'm seeing here. And through this whole kind of pattern of of this reading here, is being able to see the pattern on how you can create as well. God is showing you how to create, right? Right. Let's keep moving forward. I'm going to keep reading this because I feel like this is getting a little too long, and we got to get through this, right? Anywho, where was I at? I'm going to just kind of read the whole thing real quick, and we'll talk about it at the end so we can get through this reading because I'm tired. Yeah. Okay. And God made two great lights, in the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light among the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. Then God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that have life, and vow that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And God created great whales, and and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly, after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creatures after his kind, cattle and creeping things, and beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth among the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was so. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over everything creeping thing that creepeth among the earth. Where is that? So God created him. So God created man in his own image. See, I can't even make this shit up. In the image of God. And, no. In the image of God created him. Male and female created them, basically. Okay, I'm going to stop here. I know I said I wasn't going to stop, but we got to break that down. But yeah, through this whole cycle, if we're just reading through all of that, you can hear that, or you can see and hear that God is really showing you that you can create your world, right? You are the reflection of your creator. You are literally a direct reflection of God. So why would that not make you a God? This is that type of energy, understanding your God-like power that you have. So that being said, when you're in a fucked up situation, right? This is that type of energy. You've gotten yourself there. Understanding how to get yourself out. Okay, taking full accountability of that, right? So you got the ability to create what you want to create. Yes, it's going to take work. Here, even reading the kind of these descriptions and the things that God did here, God didn't, all of this was work. You know what I'm saying? All of this was work. God wasn't just chilling. God was out here working, right? So to even change and make the life that you desire, you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to work for it. Faith without works is dead. Facts. Faith without works is dead. So if you're believing in something so hard and not doing no whines, you might as well kiss that dream goodbye, because it ain't coming into fruition. You're going to have to do some whines. Have enough passion to move in a direction to get whatever you desire. Faith is passion to drive you to move forward, right? Or to go get whatever you're desiring, right? Right. But to wrap that whole message up, it has to do with understanding that you are a creator. So you create your life. So what are you creating, right? Right. Let's keep moving forward. And God blessed them, and God said among them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth among the earth. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is among the face of all the earth, and every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding fruit. To you it shall be for meat, and every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth among the earth, wherein there is life. I have given every green herb for me. And it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the day were the sixth day, okay? And that goes into chapter 2, right? All we needed was chapter 1. But wrapping this reading up, right? We've seen all these patterns that God was doing. God was making light. God was making land. God was making herbs. God was making the waters, the animals under the sea, right? Things of that nature, human, right? But through all of that was what God felt that I would like to create this. I would like to create that. I would like to create this. I would like to do this. But God also showed you that as human, you have the ability to create what you want. And also at the same time that you hold dominion over these things. So that being said, whatever you create in your life, you hold dominion for. You take accountability for. You reign over for. Right? This is that type of energy in these moments in time. It's about really understanding what you are reading. That whole chapter had to do with, hey, I'm in the image of God. So that makes me a creator as well. Right? Understanding that you create the life that you see. Right? So the question for you to wrap this reading up is, what are you creating? Right? What are you creating? So make sure that you're creating things that are best for you. Right? Right. All right, I think I'm going to leave it there. Remember, all readings are not for all. They're for some. Take what you need to leave the rest, as well as we got that slot open for personal readings. If you feel guided or interested in purchasing one of those, you know what to do. DM me. We can get you set up. Come fuck with your girl, okay? As well as drop a comment down below. Love to hear from you guys and start the discussion. As well as just going to share these vids, man. Let's get this divine knowledge out here for the collective so we all can get on one accord, okay? I want y'all to have a good night, and bye-bye.